As a safety director, I like to say the ingredients for working safely start with knowing the hazards. Whether it be low slope or steep slope, training is important. Fall recognition is the key.
Absolutely right. To better understand what types of fall protection are required for low slope and steep slope roofs, it is important to become familiar with the common terms and definitions associated with fall protection systems.
So let's start with the definition of a low slope roof. That's a roof with a slope less than or equal to 4 in 12, running vertical to horizontal. A 412 roof is about 18 degrees. A steep slope roof, on the other hand, has a slope greater than 4 in 12. On a roofing job site, you'll often see one of these, a hole. It's a potential hazard because you could easily fall through it to the surface below or trip on it.
OSHA defines a hole as a gap or void 2 inches or more in its least dimension, in a floor, roof, or other walking working surface. Holes are dangerous because tools can fall through them or workers can fall through to the level below. Conventional fall protection systems include guardrails, safety nets, and personal fall arrest systems or PFAs. Other types of fall protection used just for roofing work are the warning line and safety monitoring systems. These are not considered conventional fall protection systems. Here are a few details about these systems. Typically, a guardrail is made from vertical posts and horizontal rails or sturdy wire cables.
Guardrails must have a top rail height of between 39 inches and 45 inches above the working surface. They must also have mid-rails installed midway between the top rail and the walking or working surface. Mid-rails must be in place whenever there is no parapet wall at the guarded edge that is at least 21 inches high. Safety nets are not very common on roof system installations, but sometimes they are used during high-rise construction work. OSHA requires them to be installed as close as possible to the working surface. The farther down a safety net is placed, the farther out it must be extended to catch a worker who falls.
This type of fall protection is common on roofing job sites. It's a personal fall arrest system, or PFA, and it will stop a fall from a working level to a lower surface. A PFA is comprised of an anchor, connectors, and a body harness. A PFA also may include a lanyard, lifeline, and deceleration device. The term anchorage means a secure point of attachment for lifelines, lanyards, or deceleration devices. A connector is used to attach parts of a personal fall arrest system. A deceleration device disperses a large amount of energy when a fall is arrested or stopped. Adequate deceleration will help prevent a fall victim from being injured from a sudden stop. This shock-absorbing lanyard is a common deceleration device. When a fall happens, the fabric in this lanyard rips to slow the fallen worker. OSHA has a number of requirements for the strength of personal fall arrest system components, including connectors, lanyards, lifelines, and anchorages.
We'll talk more about that in Part 3. Another piece of fall protection equipment is a self-retracting lifeline, or SRL. The lifeline is wound around a drum that can be extracted or retracted under the normal tension during work. If the worker falls, the drum automatically locks and arrests the fall. Some SRLs can then lower the worker to the ground. A critical concept in fall protection is calculated clearance, or the minimum height at which a PFA system will effectively stop a fall before a worker hits the ground or other obstruction.
A warning line system is a barrier erected on a roof to warn workers they are too close to an unprotected edge or side.
Roofing work can take place inside the warning line without any conventional fall protection. OSHA requires that a warning line system be used in combination with another fall protection system like guardrails, safety nets, or PFAs when workers are outside the warning line. Those workers outside the warning line may also be protected by a safety monitoring system. A safety monitor is a competent person responsible for keeping a close watch on workers outside the warning line and alerting them to fall hazards. OSHA defines roofing work as the hoisting, storage, application, and removal of roofing materials and equipment, not including construction of the roof deck. Two more important definitions related to fall hazards are a leading edge and an unprotected side or edge. A leading edge is the side or edge of a roof deck or floor that changes location as additional deck sections are added. Say, for example, as a metal deck is first being installed. An unprotected side or edge is a floor, deck, or roof without a parapet or guardrail system in place of at least 39 inches in height.
We've reached the end of part 2 of this program. Before we move on, let's quickly review.
You learned the definition of a low-slope roof and a steep-slope roof. You became familiar with potential hazards, like holes and unprotected edges, and some of the safety devices and equipment that can be used on both steep-slope and low-slope roofs. You also learned about conventional fall protection systems and systems unique to roofing work.
Now that you're familiar with these important terms and definitions,
You're ready to move on to part 3.
we'll see you there.